Guys, can we talk about the WWE draft this past Friday on SmackDown? Because I have a lot to talk about with it. Let's go. What's going on, guys? It's JLD and we're back at it again with another video for you guys today. This is going to be a two-part series. So part one is in this video regarding the draft on Friday Night Smackdown, and part two will be from Monday Night Raw, which I'll probably be doing abroad. So it'll be much different looking than this video today. And if you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so that way you get some of the best wrestling content out there. If you enjoy this one, make sure you give it a thumbs up. So this past Friday on SmackDown, we had the first part of the WWE draft with 4 rounds of draft picks. And in this year's WWE draft, all champions with the exception of the Women's Tag Team Championships are exempt from the draft. And Roman Reigns, as announced by Paul Heyman, has withdrawn from the draft, so he is not eligible. So in today's video, I'm going to go over all of the different draft picks that happened this past Friday and my thoughts on just the draft completely, because I'm actually disappointed in this draft. And I'm not disappointed in the draft because of who was picked and all that. I'm disappointed because they spent so much time drafting people that are already on the same brands that it almost felt like nobody switched brands from Raw to SmackDown or vice versa. Like, it felt like most of the draft picks were just superstars staying on SmackDown or staying on Raw, and maybe like 1 or 2 people switching over. So what was the point of the draft anyway? There was even a TikTok comment that had me dying, where the NFL draft doesn't do drafts this way, where they just have Pat Mahomes drafted to the same team that he's already in the Kansas City Chiefs. So why would the WWE do that where LA Knight stays on SmackDown, for example? Now I get it, WWE is doing an open pool kind of style where all of the superstars can get picked by whatever brand, and Raw and SmackDown take turns doing so, but I feel like they should have utilized this time to only have people that are moving brands and not just staying in their specific brands for those announcements. But anyway, here are the draft picks that happened in the order that they happened this past Friday. So round 1 was announced by Triple H and Cody Rhodes, and the first people announced for the draft was the number 1 draft pick staying on SmackDown, Bianca Belair. On Raw, Jey Uso is staying on Monday Night Raw. The 3rd overall draft pick, which was really awesome, was NXT call-ups Carmelo Hayes going to SmackDown. And the 4th overall pick was Seth Rollins staying on Raw. So as you can already imagine, 1 of the 4 picks were actually people drafted to a new brand. And Carmelo Hayes actually made a statement and fought Cody Rhodes that same night on SmackDown. And it was a pretty good match. So I'm happy with what they're doing with Carmelo Hayes, showing him off as a great superstar. So round 2 of the WWE draft consisted of Tori Wilson and Michelle McCool announcing the next draft picks, with Randy Orton staying on SmackDown as the first pick, then Liv Morgan staying on Raw. We got Braun Breaker going to Monday Night Raw, and we have Nia Jax moving over to SmackDown. So this time there were 2 out of the 4 that were actually drafting to different brands. And it was funny because Braun Breaker actually competed in a match 5 minutes right before that, so he went from SmackDown to Raw almost instantly. And later on in the night, Nia Jax beat up Naomi and Bayley, letting Tiffany Stratton get the prettiest moonsault ever over on the both of them. Round 3 of the draft pick was announced by Bubba Ray and Devon, the Dudley Boys, with the first pick of that round being LA Knight staying on SmackDown, followed by Ricochet staying on Raw. Then we have the Bloodline staying on SmackDown, and Sheamus staying on Raw. So 0 out of 4 actually switching brands. And then the final round for SmackDown, with JBL and Teddy Long announcing the final draft picks of the night. AJ Styles staying on SmackDown, Chad Gable and Alpha Academy staying on Monday Night Raw, Andrade drafted to SmackDown from Monday Night Raw, and Kiana James for NXT going to Monday Night Raw. So 2 out of the 4 were announced as actual draft picks. So out of 16 total draft picks, only 5 of them are actual draft picks going from Raw to SmackDown, vice versa, or being called up from NXT. WWE, what are you doing? And also, once SmackDown went off the air, Monday Night Raw and Friday Night Smackdown got a few more draft picks, with Raw getting Isla Dawn and Alba Fire, Ivar, Zoe Stark, and Shayna Baszler, and SmackDown getting Baron Corbin, Cedric Alexander, and the OC. Now, we still have part 2. We still have Monday Night Raw, where draft picks can be getting a little crazy. Maybe they're saving the best for last, but to start it off on SmackDown, I give it not that good of a rating in terms of the draft. They could have done much better, but I personally still feel like they could have just had everybody that was actually moving as part of those announcements, and just not have the people that are staying as a big announcement. It doesn't make sense. I'm not excited to see Randy Orton staying on SmackDown because he's already there. Same with Bianca, LA Knight, and then the same people on Raw. Jey Uso staying on Raw. cool. That's not what I'm really interested in with the draft. But either way, we're gonna have part 2 on Monday Night Raw this coming Monday, so make sure you guys watch that. I'm gonna be posting a video about it. I probably won't have time to do it until I'm back from working and traveling and everything, so be on the lookout for that video. It might be a little late, but all good. And if you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you guys seriously. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, that way you get some of the best wrestling content possible, and give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video for part 2. Peace out.